Greetings, South Bend Vineyard Church. This is Pastor David, just coming at you with a few thoughts. And so if you give me a few minutes, I'd love for you to join me. The first one being is, man, we are in unique times. We're in unique times. It's kind of bizarre that that the only option for getting together for church is online or through these other elements that we've had. For instance, we had a impromptu board meeting the other night, and we did it by video conference. It's just new days. And those are just some small ways on how that has impacted our church. Now, that being said, I want to thank a few groups of people. The first one is I want to thank anyone that has continued to engage in community at South Bend Vineyard Church in any way. I want to thank you if you've watched a service online. I want to thank you if you've engaged through social media. I want to thank you if you've been a participant in a Zoom meeting or a phone call, or your area of volunteering has been impacted in some way. That brings me to the next group of people. I just want to thank all of you that volunteer. And I know that there's not an area of volunteering that hasn't been affected in some way. So maybe your area of volunteering, like you haven't served in a while. It's like what you've been doing is totally decreased. Can I just tell you, it doesn't mean you're not still valuable. We need your help still. And when we get back to having services, we'll get some of those things going again. Next, maybe your area has been just changed where it looks different than what it used to. Like on tech, for instance, I know that looks different than what it did because we weren't putting services online. And I know there's a lot of areas that have been it's just different now. And so I just want to thank you that not only is it different, maybe it's even more. So I just want to thank all the volunteers for your flexibility. If your area has decreased, increased, or just changed, thank you for your flexibility. Thank you for continuing to move ministry here forward at South Bend Vineyard Church. Next, I want to thank those that have given online or transitioned to giving online. Now, that being said, I'm going to be honest, this is an area of concern. Since transitioning to these precautions, my observation has been that the giving has gone down. Now, just because we're not gathering doesn't mean that we as a church don't have expenses that we have to take care of. So here's what I'm putting before you. I'm asking you, if you have not made the transition to online giving, we need your help, and I'm asking you, please make that transition to online giving. Next, maybe you make South Bend Vineyard Church your home and you have yet to lean into giving. This is as good a time as any. Rise to the challenge and contribute to the ministry of South Bend Vineyard Church. Now understand, our hope isn't that it stay at South Bend Vineyard Church, but that it go through South Bend Vineyard Church so we can be a resource of sharing the love of Jesus with our community. So I'm confident that I'm speaking to a group of people that will rise to the challenge and make the transition to online giving, or even lean into online giving for the first time. Man, I do feel confident that God is on the move, and I just want to thank you again for continuing the ministry here at South Bend Vineyard Church. I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time to hear me out. I know you'll rise to the challenge. If you have any questions about making that transition, or have any questions about the transition that is happening in this season at all, or need anything from me or the church, I've listed some contacts below. Thank you, and God bless.